What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to talk about James Harden and his post game comments. Right? Now, listening to James Harden post game comments after they lost that game to the Knicks, it just really cemented something for me, right? It just proved to me that like this today's NBA is just not the NBA that I'm used to watching when, like from years ago back growing up. I think this new NBA after Kobe Bryant's retirement and Tim Duncan after those guys left, it's just totally different. And a big example of that to me is the statements that James Harden made. Now, the statements that he made to me, either James Harden is delusional or James Harden don't really. I don't know. I don't. Even he's making stuff up. He's lying because I don't really get his statements right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the statements for you so I can comment on them and let how this like his statements and his actions would not have been able to like back in the back in the day he wouldn't have been able to like he wouldn't have been able to get away with this statement back in the day. It just would not have it wouldn't fly.
What's up?
What do you feel like this series ultimately came down to?
Um, I'll say shot making. I think that they made shots. Some obviously, some open, and some just tough shots. And I don't think we made really any. Just that some miss.
Coming here was just a piece to fulfill whatever needs to be fulfilled. And, defensively been extremely solid, offensively, getting guy shots and fitting into a system that was already in place. So I think I did good. Obviously I could have been better. I feel like I always.
Like, in what world did James Harden feel like he did well? He did good. When you think about him playing that matador type defense and they went to isolating what's the guy Jalen Brunson on him, like for almost like 5, 6, 7 plays in a row, just isolating James Harden on Jalen Brunson. And and James Harden didn't really put forth any effort. He just allowed, they had I think it was like a 21-point lead. He just allowed them, Jalen Brunson, just to get back in the game. Number one, I think it would have been up to the coaches. I think the coaches should have stepped in. Mitchell should have stepped in. Donovan Mitchell should have stepped in. Or Harden, he didn't even give like a hard foul or anything. No effort. So, yeah, man, I just think that was. But listen to the rest of his press conference.
Better, but I know one thing that I work extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? And things just don't go the way you would like them to. As far as shot making, but I think as being as seasoned that I am and experienced that I am, I try to impact the game in other ways. Just because I know that we are capable, and, when I'm not making shots, we're still capable of winning games. We did that. So,
all right. So he tried to impact the game in other ways when he's not making shots. What ways are he talking about? Is he talking about defense, passing, or what? Because to me, James Harden is the kind of player that, if he's not scoring, then he really doesn't bring anything else to the table. And in my opinion, I think James Harden has been in the league for too long to be able, to be able to think that he can get away with this.
Also just, from, regular season playing, 34 minutes to, I don't know if I led the playoffs in minutes, but, close to, playing a lot of minutes a game. So the transition was a little different, and I got to prepare myself for it.
James.
Again, no self-respecting veteran basketball player is going to make an excuse like that, saying that he go from 34 minutes, like his minutes, his minutes get upped in the playoffs. That's just something that I don't get. I don't understand. And for me, I'm just glad that James Harden, in my opinion, is closer to retirement than he is, because I like this young group of guys that's coming in. I like the Knicks with Jalen Brunson. I like Shea Gilgeous, although people complain about Shea's flopping, but at least you don't get these excuses, and you get the kind of effort that, it's the effort that is worthy of a championship type basketball player.
Obviously, it took a heavy lift on all sides to get you here.
Yeah.
But you do have a contract option coming up. Do you, and then you could decline and do some other stuff and still be here. Do you want to be here, and do you expect that you'll be here?
Yes, 100%, definitely. Both to answer. Yes, want to, definitely want to be here.
And also the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, he didn't really come down hard on them, at least not publicly. And so I can understand that, right? Not coming down hard on James Harden publicly. But I don't know, if I'm Cleveland, I would not have even wanted to bring James Harden to this lineup, to the team anyway. I like Darius Garland better. I thought that he was more reliable. And he could help out in more ways than what James Harden did. I thought that, the chemistry between Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland last year, in my opinion, was better.
I think we found some. Like, it's tough, just not ending it how we wanted to. But I think we found some. Yeah.
Reflecting on it.
And he couldn't even think of anything to say right there. He just kept saying, "I think we found some. I think we found some," because he didn't. You just got swept. So how can you say you found something, or you had some solutions? It's just, I don't know. I just think that James Harden, to me, he's always seemed like the kind of basketball player who really don't care about basketball. He's just going through the motions. I haven't really seen any improvement in his game over the years. I don't see any. He just do the same things. And then when he get to the playoffs, he expect a different result. And I just think that's crazy.
Series. How much better, if they're better, are the Knicks than you guys?
I can't even answer that question, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was 4-0, but I don't think we had a chance as far as our best shot. From a standpoint of the circumstances. Obviously they dominated us 4-0, but I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question.
To be honest, I think he should have said something like, just to be honest of the situation. We got swept, they owned us. And then, well, he should have been doing this years ago, though. Just, when they look at how they played in the series, come back the next year and make adjustments. And like I said earlier, James Harden has never added anything else to his game. Like, his game is the same as it was when he was with OKC. And in between OKC and now, I think this is like his fourth team.
But genuinely, I do feel like we are the better team. But series wise, it didn't show it. So
how could they be the better team when they just got swept 4-0? Like I said, with something like this, I just don't think that the Cavaliers should bring James Harden back. And if I'm the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, I understand that you don't want to throw James Harden under the bus publicly, right? And so I'm hoping that he's wise enough to know that James Harden is just not a good fit for his team. If they trying to take it to the next level, it's just not gonna work. So that's my take on James Harden. Today's, just like I said, I just think that today's NBA is, in my opinion, is just over with. So make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.